What do you use to remind yourself that everything isn't that bad? I remember that Yahoo hasn't given up, so why should I? Reminds me of a saying that I used to repeat to myself occasionally. If Internet Explorer is brave enough to ask to be your default browser, you can be brave enough to ask that girl out. I found this absolutely hilarious, and one time it actually gave me the courage to ask somebody out. Lol. I'm not homeless anymore, my chronic illness is in remission, so I can feed myself and even work outside the house. Life is good. I think about all the natural wonders, all the organisms, both beautiful and terrifying, that inhabit this earth with me. I think about the fact that no matter how bad things seem on our pale blue dot, the cosmos are massive, complex, and new stars are still being born in stellar nurseries all the time. I also like to think of my life from a historical context. Needed a root canal a few weeks ago and was pretty bummed about it till I remember that old-timey dentistry was whiskey and some dude with a steady hammering hand. Hardcore history and other such shows are also excellent workout motivation. Smiley face. My ancestors used to have to be ready to throw down and scrap. This bike ride to the grocery store is a cakewalk comparatively, and it's good for me too. I try to remember that we're all just making it up as we go along. Biggest realization for me as an adult was when I learned nobody actually knows what they are doing. Just their best. That despite the fact I suffer kidney failure and I am on dialysis 3 days a week. I remind myself that I am at least still alive and can still be with my family. Many other serious illnesses don't give that luxury. I'm on dialysis, too. I switched to peritoneal dialysis a couple years ago after having been on hemodialysis for a year. I cannot stress enough how much better my quality of life has become. I treat myself at home, every night while I sleep. No more needles. No more sitting in a chair for 4 hours every other day. It's also much easier to travel. But most importantly, I feel better than I did on hemo. I always felt like a zombie after hemo. The dietary restrictions are also not as severe. I strongly recommend you speak to your nephrologist about PD. It's easy to do and you will regain a lot of control of your life. You will not regret it. I have a roof over my head. Yeah man, we're not all that lucky. We have oxygen. Oxygen is nice, right? I text a friend and see if they want to have dinner. We plan something and cook it with a good drink, then another, repeat as necessary. Life feels pretty good after a few drinks and dinner with friends. Also, I get to try out a lot of new recipes. What are these friends you speak of? I learned in college the danger of having friends you also work with, so now I pretty much just don't have friends I can just invite over. Step 1. Dress in a manner that you find attractive. Step 2. Go to a chill bar if you drink, coffee shop if you don't. Step 3. Integrated, purchase alcohol, coffee and just melt into the scene for a moment. Step 4. Find someone, preferably of the same sex at first, unless they're checking you out. This is to make sure that they don't get the wrong idea, who looks as lonely as you do. Step 5. Talk to them. If they're not really shitty, make a new friend. Step 6. Repeat this entire procedure until you have a stable of friends you can rely on. Congratulations. That experiences with people is what matters most, not money or material. What if experiences with people is the problem? Experience different people. I think about the fact that all things considered I'm reasonably healthy and there's no warrant out for my arrest. Yet. Not anymore. Riding my bike and listening to music, it takes my mind off of everything, and I forget what's going on and I'm just happy. Doing anything as long as there is music. Hopefully this gets past all the award stuff, but one thing that reminds me that everything isn't all bad is that I have people and pets that want me around. I can have an utterly terrible day, come home, and my dog is waiting at the door to greet me. Every day. I'll go lay down, and he'll come cuddle with me. My sister notices the funk, and will make me dinner or a dessert or something to lift my spirits, and I don't have to say a word. I'm close enough with my best friend that he can notice something off about me just by the way I text, and he'll come over to play some video games and talk. Please remember that there are people around you that love you and care for you. When you're having an utterly shit day, there are people that actively want to make it better because they care for you. You may not notice the ways that they do it, but they do. It can be as simple as just asking how your day was, they know. They can tell, or as elaborate as taking you out to unwind and have a fun time to forget and relax. No one is ever alone in this world, even if you feel it. And, if you genuinely feel it, message me. I'm always welcoming conversations from anyone. I don't need a wheelchair anymore. Your name wouldn't happen to be John Locke, would it? That comment gave me a smile. When I lay down at night with my cat, who is 20 years old. She's such a love bug and I am so lucky to have had her this long and all the stress just melts away. We're only here for a minute. Enjoy it. My love for deer on the side of the road, the ones that are alive. It reminds me the innocence of nature and makes me feel warm and alive. This whole thread is reminding me that life is not always so bad. Thank you. I can die later. The world is going to kill me whether I like it or not, so why not stick around for a few more decades and see what happens? In some ways it's comforting to know I don't have to do this forever and I don't have to kill myself. Curiosity and things to look forward to. Even TV shows, games, movies, or visits from relatives. I always pick something to look forward to. I've heard that's a really good strategy for people struggling with suicidal thoughts. Pick 1 or 2 things that are coming out weeks or months from now, a new game, book, movie, whatever, and remind yourself that you will miss out on that one thing if you go through with it. It's the little things that keep us going and it's the little things that are often the most important. Used to say this about finding out about how Game of Thrones would end and now I wish I'd just killed myself. This comment is honestly life-changing. I've been feeling pretty down and was having suicidal ideation for a few weeks. This is a hopeful perspective, something I've never thought of, but a way I can manage or rearrange those thoughts. Thank you. The universe existed for billions of years before humans, and will be for billions of years after. It's pretty cool that we have eyes and ears to look around and check it out for a while. It's pretty weird to think that this all could have existed without ever being seen by anyone. We're super lucky it was us that get to check it out. Agreed. Just reading this comment really helped me. My cat pretty much instinctively knows when I'm down. He gets very cuddly and won't leave my side if I'm upset. My fiance always says that he must be a loved one reincarnated. That's so cute. My kids. They're helping me more than anything else right now. My kids are the best little assholes I've ever known. It's so easy to have the worst fucking day ever, then you get to see your little one who's stoked to see you and it's all peachy again. My kid will come running to me or his mom when we pick him up from daycare, chatter and sing the whole way home in the car, then ask for his favorite movie or something while grabbing his blanket and getting snuggies. At this point I think I need them more than he does. I had a stroke a couple of weeks ago, only 27 and no health explanation for the event, and while I was in the hospital walking down the hall with my good old buddy Winston, what I named my IV drip machine pumping me with blood thinner, an older gentleman across the hall saw me and told his nurse I was far too young to be in the ICU. He had a little plastic pumpkin for Halloween and not much else, so he asked the nurse to give it to me. I never found out which patient gave me that pumpkin, but since the stroke, whenever things get stressful I look at it, now sitting on my desk at work, and remember that everything is okay. I plan on keeping my little plastic stroke pumpkin for the rest of my life, however long or short it may be. High school is almost over and a new chapter of my life is about to start, smiley face. As someone that just graduated HS and is in a college right now. Don't take high school for granted if you enjoy it. Those are times I look back on when the going gets rough here. Trust me, it does, but the best thing I've done here in college is do what makes me happy. Whatever you love to do, keep doing it. College is hard. It's so different than high school. Make new friends, do irresponsible shit, become friends with your professors. Pro tip. It's just a different life than what you're used to, and that's okay. Live it up. Don't let it suck. It's what you make of it.